Hi guys, Wern here, Vaping Wern. It's great to be back. I'm recording this video off a brand new webcam. And the reason for that is, I've been away for a while. And it's not because I've been a lazy bastard. But the truth is, my webcam that I was using for all those reviews, it just broke. It refused to, how would I say, it refused to detect, the computer refused to detect the webcam. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, blah blah blah. So I just decided to up and get a new one. I'm using a Logitech one right now. I don't know if the quality will be better in any way, but I do know it costs half the price of my old webcam. But then again, the old webcam lasted for what, 5-6 years, so that's money well spent anyway. Enough about that. Today I'm going to record a short video blog. Just to give you some updates on what has been going on recently, what's coming, and of course the new gear that's dropped by Vaping One HQ. As you might have seen earlier, I'm vaping on my GP Peps, my favorite everyday beater, and today I have a rather different looking tank on it. Now this is actually a Russian 91%, which I absolutely hated the colorway. So I gave it a quick brushing with Scotch-Brite, with a Scotch-Brite pad, got it wet, gave it a good rub with Scotch-Brite, gave it another do-over with some 2000 grit sandpaper, and it came out shiny, shiny, shiny. Very nice. On top of that, I'm using the Pyrex tank by Tarsius Customs. This is the standard size, not the nano size, because I already broke my nano tank. I didn't drop it. I was just trying to switch between the nano tank and the standard tank. So I did the whole twisting action and pulled it off. And I got the top part off. But when I pulled off the bottom part, the tank just cracked and broke. So yeah, I only have the standard tank for this. And on top of it, I have a new top cap. Now this top cap is from the same guy that does all the other top caps, which I sell on vaping1.com. Let's try and give you some puppy closies. I don't know if this camera has any issues autofocusing. Maybe it does too. But I have posted a sort of a more detailed picture of it on the Facebook page, so you can check that out. As far as these go, will they be on for sale? I only have 4 pieces of them with me right now. So I probably will be doing a small quick sale on Facebook. I won't put them out on the store since I only have 4 pieces. So if you're interested in this, then do look out for that. It's different from the previous top caps. Previous top caps like this one. This takes up 2 sections. The metal ring on top of the clear tank and the top cap section. But this one, it only takes up the top cap section. So it will work on things like the Pyrex kit, or if you have a M tank, a full M tank, it will screw right on top of the full M tank. However, it may look a bit odd since the full M tanks are a bit fat around the sides. They're not completely flush. But I believe that let's see how they pronounce this. Svoimesto, the makers of K-Fun, they are selling flush M tanks on their site. So if you do have a flush M tank, this will go very well with a flush M tank. Whew. Quick vape. Very nice. I'm vaping sour fuse ice in that. That's a really old school taste and one that I absolutely love. What else? The Expromizer. Now this is a 23mm atomizer, and it coils like a K-Fun. It coils like a cave-on. So you have your chamber here with your wicks inside. Yeah. And it refills like a typhoon. So you can just pop it open. You don't have to empty your tank. Your juice just sits in here. Put this aside. Give it a quick recoil. Give it a quick wash, dry burn, whatever you need. Just pop it back in. Turn it over, and you're good to vape again. So, in simple words, it coils like a cave-on, refills like a typhoon. Now, I did post a second batch group buy on the Facebook page for the Expromizer. This is from my first batch. And if you have signed up on the list, I know one of you gentlemen has, Ash Boone. He actually got in touch with me to ask what are the updates on that. First and foremost, I apologize for being very quiet on that front. And the main reason is because some units from the first batch, when they arrived, they were of rather poor quality. I'm lucky to have a fully functional unit here, but somebody who bought it on the first batch, from my first batch, has problems with the 5-tank connector. Someone else has problems with the tank not sitting flush. And someone else has problems with the tank leaking. I know that Vape did mention they were having problems with their first batch. Even reviewers like Todd and whatnot have mentioned that the first batch does leak, does have wobbly drip tip connection. But during my email conversations with Vape, they assured me that these were all fixed already in this batch. Unfortunately, it seems that the problems are still here. I even had one unit that the chimney, the 510, the chimney did not align properly with the sort of middle of the drip tip. So I mean, it's things like this that kind of put me off. I didn't really want to bring in something that was of subpar quality. I know it's cheap. It's relatively cheaper than things like the K-Fun Lite, even the Russian. The price of my group buy is $269. But even if it's cheaper than what's out on the market, that's no excuse for them to drop the quality of the product. No excuse for them to overlook the finishing on the product. No excuse for them to ship out subpar products. I feel quite strongly about that. Hence, I have sort of delayed the group buy. I was supposed to send out an email earlier, but I've been rather busy. I will definitely do that tonight. So if you sign up for the second group buy, look out for that email. I'm really sorry, guys, but yeah, I really don't want to sell you something that isn't good, right? I'll just take a vape of this. I've got butterscotch in here, 9 mg, and this is by Double K. This liquid has been receiving a lot of hype on Facebook and excuse me, both on Facebook and also from resellers. And I can't say that I blame them because this is a pretty damn good liquid. I know that the description says butterscotch, but to me it tastes more like popcorn. Something similar, but not exact to caramel popcorn by Tasty Vapors. You know, that legendary liquid back in the day. It is reminiscent of that flavor, more so than a lot of butterscotch liquids that I've tried. And it's really good. It's really good. For 45 ringgit for 30 ml, I think that's a very decent price. And thank you for introducing this to me. I believe one of my buddies introduced this to me quite a while ago. That was way back when we did a small group buy for what do you call it, for that Rampage hybrid ring. You know who you are. Thank you very much. Okay, so I've done the Pyrex tank. I've done the Expromizer. What haven't I done? I have a new Genesis tank here, and this is the Dudenberg. Let's pull that off and show you that. The Dudenberg. Now this is a 22mm Genesis tank. It's supposed to be an affordable performance tank, but somehow or another it got quite expensive. I got this from one of my buddies for review, and I have to say that it's a pretty good tank. It's rather small. Let's see, I'll put this next to a Pulse G. It's a bit shorter than the Pulse G. What else do I have? I have the Kraken. It's shorter than the Kraken. There you go. It's definitely shorter than a steam turbine. Gotta work on that angle. Yep. And what else can I compare it to? Well, it's about the same height as an E-Baron. It's small. It's very small. But don't let the size fool you. It actually holds a good 3 mil of liquid, which is more than all those tanks there. The Kraken holds 2.5 mils. The Pulse G about the same. The steam turbine about there. And the reason why it can hold so much liquid is because the walls of the tank are really, really thin. I can just pop off the top cap and show you that. Even there itself, you can see it's really thin. The chamber is a bit big though, so that did worry me a bit when I was setting it up. But I have to say that I'm pretty impressed with the flavor, with the vapor production. What do I have here? I have a 4-wrap of 28 Canthal. And I think this is a pretty solid tank. It's not really a looker. It's quite plain. It's a real plain Jane, and it has this sort of a satinish. I think that's what I call it. Excuse me. A sort of satin finish to it. It's not your typical polished or brushed finish, so it might be a bit difficult to match with your mods. I know it looks a bit awkward on the paps, due to a difference in finish. It's not as doesn't have that painted finish of the Russian 91. It's a very different finish from that. More to what the Icarus satin looks like. Yeah. But then again, it's not as rough, so I've got to do a bit more research before I do a review for this. But thanks for loading this for review, Mr. Man who wants to remain anonymous. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'll take another vape. This is a pretty good liquid too. This is Vanilla Lime Cream by Grandmaster Vape. It tastes pretty reminiscent to that. If you're in Malaysia and then you know this ice cream is green color, Solero I think it's called. Green color on the outside, which is lime, and then vanilla on the inside. Absolutely love it. As you can tell, I'm a real sucker for e-liquids that sort of remind me of my past. I absolutely loved Tray Candy, and I love this. If only they made more liquids that remind me of my past, I'd be a really happy guy. But Grandmaster Vape, Paul, good job. I'm loving this this vanilla lime cream. Good stuff. So yeah, I'll be doing a review on the Dudenberg very soon. Now that I've got the webcam back in action, you should be seeing more reviews coming up. Okay, what else? E-liquids. I think I've told you guys before, I have Prodigy by Amadeus. I know I said I'll be doing a review for this, but since I received this as a tester for their sort of product testing group, I don't think it'd be fair to give you a review on this yet, since this is not a finished product and this is not for sale. This is really for the R&D process. I've already given them my feedback. I've told them what I felt about it, and you know, we had a long discussion the other day. But just to whet your appetite a bit, this is a honeydew and strawberry mix. It's a bit on the sweet side, and I think it really could benefit from a strong kick of menthol. But we'll wait and see for the next version. Hopefully the next version will be perfected and I can share more details with you guys. Speaking of e-liquids, which I talked about in the past, you might have remembered a small video which I made where I showed you these bottles. The I'm a bit disoriented. I don't know where the camera is. I'm just not used to having it here. But yeah, this one. Remember, I had this batch of bottles that were very ambiguously labeled. H, I told you, stood for Havana. This was a guava mixed with menthol flavor. Very nice. And I'm happy to say that the guys that made that have actually gone full-on production and have started to push the brand here. Now, the brand is called the Vape Inc, or TVI for short, and you know, they stuck to the name Havana. So this pink bottle, or rather bottle of pinkish liquid, is called Havana, and it is a I can be sure now since it's not printed here. It is a 50-50 mix, 9 mg of nicotine. As usual, you know, the recipe has been a bit tuned down from the past. On the tester, the menthol was really strong, and that sort of blocked out a lot of flavor. On the final version, they've sort of tweaked down the level of menthol, and that's helping to sort of accentuate the guava a bit more. In terms of aroma, you really get that guava, or rather pink guava aroma. And in terms of taste, of course, you get it there. The thing I liked before about this was that it wasn't too sweet, and after running a tank or two of it on my K-Fun, I can conclusively say that it doesn't really gunk your coils at all. And that's of course because of the level of sweetener they use, which is not too much, obviously. So that's another plus point for me. Another thing I want to share is that I actually liked it so much that I took in a batch of about 40 bottles of TVI Havana, and I will be selling those through the Facebook page as well as through vapingwern.com. Now these go for 50 ringgit for 30 ml, and that's the retail price that's printed on the bottle. Right now, I can't give you any discounts since it's a new brand and I don't want to sort of mess with their marketing strategies and whatnot. But if you would like to try it out, I'll be very grateful if you bought it from vapingwern.com. Alright, let's see. I've covered all the bases. Yes. Something non-vape related which I want to talk about. I'm sure as everyone is well aware, a plane has gone missing. A Malaysian plane from Malaysian Airlines. I don't know. It's things like this that that suddenly just hit you, makes you appreciate your life much more. I used to travel a lot for my old job. I used to be a journalist, and I was traveling maybe 2 or 3 or even 4 times a month by plane. And when you're in that situation, you know, when things are smooth sailing, you don't really think about things like these. It's been quite a while since I've been on a trip. Well, I was on a plane last in December. But you don't really think about things like this when all is good in the world. Um, all I can say is, guys who are on that flight, I know you're probably not watching this. You're definitely not watching this. But all I can say is that I'm praying that the authorities and the search parties manage to find you guys. Please do stay strong, and I'm sure that all you guys can share my hope that that they manage to find the plane and the passengers very, very soon. Um, I know this is a rather somber thing to talk about, but I feel that they need our support right now. And so, regardless what religion you are, what race you are, let's all just say a quick prayer for them tonight and hope for their speedy recovery. Right? Okay, guys. I've talked for about 20 minutes now. That's 20 minutes too long. So, as usual, I'm just going to leave you with a vape and wish everyone a good weekend ahead. It's Friday, right? It's Friday. Cheers, guys. Good night.